It seems to be a bit of a contradiction that you can be liberated and then forget it. You can touch your true nature, realize your true essence, and then just shrug your shoulders and carry on as before. Much of the Yoga Vasishta, though, has been about helping us to appreciate that essence which is our essential self. And even if you do appreciate it, though, you've still got your latent tendencies. You've still got your tendencies to run away from who you are, to hide from who you are. But in chapter 46 we reach a turning point. It's rather like the alcoholic who wakes up one morning and realizes they don't want to drink anymore. The compulsion is gone. Vasishta continued, when the fruit of the Supreme Truth has been gained and it has become liberation, even awareness becomes non-existent, as it were, since the mind is absorbed in the Supreme Truth. So even awareness becomes non-existent. We're no longer concerned with notions of existence or non-existence. But what we can say, there is only what there is. We're not even going to put the label of awareness on it. The dearness of the dear mind vanishes like a lamp without fuel. The dear mind is the mind which wants to wander here and there, wander over there for some of that, wander over there for some of that, wander in here for some of this. But it vanishes like a lamp without fuel. This is the nature of nirvana. We're no longer fueling the wandering attention. The Supreme Truth alone remains. The mind which has attained the fruit of meditation, which is self-knowledge, is firm like a thunderbolt. Vajra. The characteristic notion of restlessness of the mind goes away, who knows where. Illumination alone remains as pure consciousness without disturbance or division. So this word Vajra is very important, and it comes up quite a lot in the next few paragraphs. So I'm going to say something about it. Firm like a thunderbolt. We don't often think of a thunderbolt as firm, but the thunderbolt smashes right through. There's no longer any compromise. There's no longer any excuses. The Vajra is the weapon of Indra, the king of the gods. Indra is the Hindu thunder god, and this is his weapon of thunder. So there's no longer any equivocation. That's one thing you can say about a thunderbolt. There's no equivocation. It smashes right down. The word Vajra is sometimes translated as diamond or adamantine. It cannot be broken. The word adamantine is a good one because it comes from their original Greek adamaion, which means to tame or overcome. So the Vajra is the thunderbolt. There's no compromise with the thunderbolt. We no longer vacillate. We no longer make excuses. We no longer allow ourselves to be drawn in to limited pleasures, because the nature of the here and now is clear, and we're no longer inclined to move away from it. In this state, there is effortless dropping away of all desires, and effortless meditation alone remains. Unless and until Brahman is realized, one cannot rest in the self. Until then, meditation is impossible, merely by thinking about the self, etc. You cannot really meditate until you realize. People think that meditation is about achieving realization. Meditation is realization. When the Supreme Truth is realized, the mind goes away, who knows where, And who knows how vasana or mental conditioning, karma, as also joy and despair disappear. The yogi is then seen to be in a state of continuous and unbroken meditation, firmly established in adamantine meditation or samadhi, like a mountain. And here samadhi is described as Vajra samadhana, and this is the diamond concentration, the unbroken concentration, the immovable concentration. The seat of the Buddha, where the Buddha gained enlightenment, is sometimes described as the Vajra seat, the diamond throne. This refers to the unshakable nature of the meditation, of the realization. When the yogi is disinterested in pleasure, when his senses are utterly peaceful and controlled, when he rests delighted in the self, when all his mental modifications have ceased, what else is there to be done in the name of samadhi? When the yogi is unaware of the world as an object of observation, on account of the absence of mental conditioning, he cannot help remaining in Vajra samadhi, as if compelled by some other power. The mind is not distracted from it. When the mind is at peace because it is disinterested in worldly objects, having known the truth, that is samadhi, not else. Firm rejection of pleasure is meditation. When it reaches fruition, it is Vajrasara, adamantine. Vajrasara is the essence of the Vajra. This means all vacillation has been rooted out, the quintessence of the thunderbolt. Since this is also the state of perfect knowledge, it is known as nirvana, or the blissful state. If there is craving for pleasure, what is the use of something called meditation? If such craving does not exist, what is the use of something called meditation? In other words, there's no point in doing a meditation which has got an end purpose. Meditation refers to a state of being when there is perfect knowledge and at the same time disinterestedness in pleasure. Unconditioned consciousness follows naturally and effortlessly, and this is called nirvikalpa samadhi, unconditioned consciousness. Sometimes this is contrasted with savakalpa samadhi, and I think we can understand nirvikalpa samadhi in terms of what was said earlier about it's almost as if there's an external force drawing us to this enlightenment rather than something we have to keep struggling towards. He who is not swayed by craving for pleasure is known as perfectly enlightened, Sambuddha. Such perfect enlightenment arises from complete turning away from the pursuit of pleasure. He who rests in the self does not experience craving at all. Desire for pleasure experience only arises when there is movement away from the self. It's a distinction between being centered or off-center. At the conclusion of the study of scripture, japa, etc., one enters into samadhi. After the practice of samadhi, one should study, do japa, etc. O Ram, rest in the state of nirvana at all times. In other words, as much as possible, everything we do relates back to establishing ourselves here in the diamond seat, here on the diamond throne.